Today's defense news, the highlights. Cabinet Committee on Security clears 20,000 crore rupees Make in India project for Su-30 fighter jets and 100 K9 howitzers. ISRO successfully tests CE-20 cryogenic engine, a breakthrough in space technology. Kerala-based startup Fuselage Innovations joins India-Finland delegation at startup event in Helsinki. Indian light tank achieves major milestone by firing a number of rounds accurately at high altitude. Ninth India-Thailand Defence Dialogues held in Delhi to explore new initiatives to further strengthen bilateral defence cooperation. Indian Army signs contract for procurement of tactical access switch with TATA Advanced Systems. India, France, UAE strengthen defence ties with Desert Night Air Combat Exercise. ADA plans two variants of TEDBF with STOBAR for current carriers and CATOBAR for future carriers. Azad Engineering to set up a 800 crore rupees superalloy manufacturing plant near Hyderabad. From the war zone, Syria's navy neutralized, Israeli forces target missile boats in Mediterranean. In the global news, Slovakia, Brazil discuss military transport aircrafts, howitzer buys. Terrestrial Layer System Brigade Combat Team Manpack, a new tool lets brigades see their electronic warfare footprint. BTM signs tactical communication partnerships with Finnish Defence Forces. The news in detail. The Cabinet Committee on Security has cleared two major projects worth around Rs 20,000 crores for 12 Su-30 Mki fighters for the Air Force and 100 K9 Vajra self-propelled howitzers for the Army. The contract for the Su-30 Mki jets has been inked by the Ministry of Defence with Hindustan Aeronautics. The contract, valued at approximately 13,500 crores, includes associated equipment and is inclusive of taxes. The aircraft will feature a homegrown content of 62.6%, achieved through the indigenization of numerous components manufactured by the Indian defense industry. The 12 Su-30 Mki jets for the Air Force would be licensed manufactured by Hindustan Aeronautics at its Nasik facility. These will replace aircrafts that have been lost over the last many years. The order for 100 K9 self-propelled howitzers to be made by Larsen and Toubro at Hazira in Gujarat, valued at around 7,000 crore rupees, is a repeat of the earlier batch of 100 K9 Vajra howitzers, which have already been inducted into the army. The L&T has increased the indigenous content in the howitzers. The two projects for the public sector, HAL and L&T, are expected to strengthen the small and medium enterprises firms in their supply chains. The howitzers have been inducted in the desert sector as well as against the Chinese front in the Ladakh sector. Kerala-based startup Fuselage Innovations joins India-Finland delegation at a startup event in Helsinki. Selected as part of the India-Finland delegation program facilitated by the Kerala Startup Mission, the Fuselage Innovations represented India on the global stage, showcasing transformative technology and innovation. Their portfolio featured cutting-edge unmanned aerial vehicles, including drones for precision agriculture, reforestation, disaster management, and IoT integrated systems tailored for diverse industries. Fuselage Innovations is not just building technology, it's creating sustainable, scalable solutions aligned with global climate action goals. A significant highlight was Fuselage Innovations securing support from the Government of Finland to establish an office in the country. This strategic move positions the company for deeper market penetration and collaboration in Europe. With their expansion into Finland, the company is poised to lead international collaborations and drive advancements in defense and civilian technology. Indian light tank has achieved a major milestone by firing a number of rounds at different ranges at an altitude of more than 4200 meters at a high altitude location with consistently accurate results. This was subsequent to the phase 1 trial in desert environment in September 24. This light tank has been defined, designed and developed by CVRDE for the Army. It is manufactured by Larsen& Toubro Precision Engineering and Systems. ILT is being designed as a 25-ton class armored fighting vehicle to meet the requirements of the armed forces for high altitude applications. The airlift capability of ILT was also demonstrated by the Air Force. Such a capability would assist in quick deployment of ILT in operating conditions which are remote and difficult to access through road or rail. With these two phases of internal performance trials, which were actively supported by the Army and the Air Force, ILT would be undergoing some more trials before being offered for user trials. The ninth India-Thailand Defence Dialogue took place in Delhi on 12th of December. Both sides agreed for early establishment of joint working group to effectively steer and monitor the cooperation in the areas of defense industry, conduct subject matter expert exchange between India and the Thai armed forces to carry forward and institutionalize a regular engagement in niche domains, and proposed exploring possibilities for co-design, co-production and co-development in the field of defense industry. Thailand is a maritime neighbor and a valued partner in India's Act East policy and Indo-Pacific region. Thailand's Act West policy complements India's Act East policy for providing basis for substantive elevation of bilateral relations. India, France, and United Arab Emirates have recently enhanced their defense cooperation through a significant air combat exercise named Desert Night, conducted over the Arabian Sea. The exercise, which began on 11th of December, aims to enhance synergy and interoperability among the air forces of the three countries. Indian Air Force deployed a variety of aircrafts including Su-30 MKI, MiG-29, Jaguar fighter jets, airborne warning and control systems, C-130J transport aircrafts, air-to-air refueling aircrafts. The French Air and Space Force contributed Rafale fighter jets and a multi-role tanker transport, while the UAE Air Force fielded F-16 jets, all operating from a Al Dhafra Air Base in the UAE. ADA plans two variants of TEDBF with STOBAR for current carriers and CATOBAR for future carriers. Recognizing the Navy's potential transition to a new aircraft carrier configuration in the future, ADA is planning two variants of the TEDF. One optimized for short takeoff but arrested recovery STOBAR operations, and another for catapult assisted takeoff but arrested recovery CATOBAR. India's current aircraft carriers INS Vikramaditya and INS Vikrant utilize the STOBAR configuration, which involves a sky jump ramp for takeoff and arresting gear for landing. The upcoming second indigenous aircraft carrier IAC-2 is also expected to feature this configuration. However, the Indian Navy is considering a shift to the CATOBAR for its future carriers, potentially starting with IAC-3. CATOBAR systems use catapults to launch aircrafts, enabling heavier payloads and increased operational flexibility. The TEDBF is being designed primarily for STOBAR carriers, but ADA is incorporating modifications to make it compatible with CATOBAR systems as well. This adaptability will ensure seamless operations through both types of carriers, future-proofing the Navy's air wing capabilities. To achieve this, the CATOBAR variant of the TEDBF will require several key design modifications such as the structural reinforcement, landing gear enhancements, performance or optimization. Indian Navy is also exploring the development of its own EMALS technology, which allows for the launch of heavier and more diverse aircrafts, including UAVs and AEW and C platforms. The CATOBAR capable TEDBF will provide Navy with a modern fighter jet to counter regional threats and secure its maritime interests. With IAC-3 still in the conceptual stage, Navy has ample time to align its air wing plans with carrier design changes. The TDBF program is central to this strategy, ensuring India's carrier fleet remains equipped with state-of-the-art fighters well into the future. From the war zone, Israeli Navy launched a large-scale offensive targeting Syrian naval assets at the port of Latakia and Minat el-Baida Bay in northwestern Syria. The operation, described by Israeli Defense Minister as a decisive strike, reportedly resulted in the complete destruction of the Syrian Navy's Mediterranean fleet. The Israeli Navy employed precision guided munitions, electronic warfare measures, and coordinated strikes to neutralize these vessels. The operation reportedly involved advanced missile systems potentially launched from Israel's SAR 6 class corvettes and Dolphin class submarines. Some global news. Slovakia and Brazil have signed a memorandum under which Bratislava could buy four Embraer C390 Millennium transport aircraft for the country's armed forces. Meanwhile, Slovakian government is pitching to the Brazilian ministry the acquisition of Zuzana 2 self-propelled howitzers. The 155 Zuzana 2 howitzer is manufactured by the Slovak company Konstrukta Defence and it is based on a four-axle TATA wheeled chassis. The Terrestrial Layer System Brigade Combat Team Manpack, a new tool which lets brigades see their electronic warfare footprint. A handful of operational US Army brigades now have a tool to see how they and enemy forces look into the otherwise invisible electromagnetic spectrum. The Terrestrial Layer System Brigade Combat Team Manpack or TLS BCT is being fielded into the service's three transformation in contact brigades. The Army selected the brigades to receive new commercial equipment, expert training, and a series of experiments while preparing for operational deployments. It is a configurable radio system that can survey radio frequencies, collect signals, perform direction finding operations, detect electromagnetic attacks, and visualize electromagnetic spectrum data. The Army awarded a nearly $100 million contract to Mastodon Design to build, field, and train soldiers on the system. The three transformation in contact brigades now putting TLS BCT through its paces are the 2nd Light Brigade Combat Team, the 25th Infantry Division in Hawaii, and the 2nd Brigade 10th Mountain at Fort Drum, New York. BTM Wireless, a subsidiary of Finnish communications firm BTM Corporation, has signed a long-term partnership agreement with the Finnish Defence Forces to support the purchase and maintenance of its tactical communication and command and control systems that are in use with the FDF. The agreement to run from 2025 to 2036 is intended to ensure availability, security of supply and ongoing integration of BTM's subsystems for the FDF. The partnership agreement establishes a framework for purchasing BTM's products, software, and services with purchase orders for products and services and acquisitions planned together with the FDF for each year. The partnership agreement will replace the purchase agreement and its optional additional purchases of tough SDR, handheld, and vehicular radios that was signed by BTM and the FDF in December 2018. That's the news for today. We hope you enjoyed the news. Please do subscribe to our channel and do give us your feedback. Thank you.